What if I told you that One Piece is gonna have its second time skip very soon? Or has it already happened? The Island of Giants Elbaf has already presented us with some groundbreaking and breathtaking facts that you just don't wanna miss. And if you are an anime only watcher, I would recommend you to try watching our latest One Piece reaction to 1130 or 31 if I remember correctly. I'll put a link in the description down below. You see, the author of this fictional pirate story likes to sway us in every direction possible. But if you truly pay attention to what he's writing, then you might actually have a shot of figuring out some of the mysteries of this series. Now, at the start of Elbaf, especially chapter 1132, we get to read a letter written to us by a famous explorer whose adventures were recorded in Bragman, a book about the adventures of the Grand Line. I am talking about the one and only Louis Arnote. Not only was he the one that gave the island of Little Garden its name, not only that, but now he's giving us hints and warnings about the war country of Elbaf. Wait. Come on, who is this guy anyway, you're thinking? I mean, pause, wait. This guy had to be incredibly strong to reach all the way to Elbaf. Anyway, in his letter, he compliments Elbaf for being so impressively enormous. And I quote, "To be in presence of gargantuan as in something extremely big in size, is to know emotion. Who could possibly put this sight into words that convey its grandeur?" Now, let's dissect his sentence because I believe it to be very important. To be a gargantuan is to know emotion. He is in complete awe of what he's seeing. The vast land of Elbaf, trees hundreds of meters up in the air, buildings that dwarf the giants themselves, and weird technology like the rainbow painter. I mean, if you see all of this, how on earth and how the hell are you not supposed to be emotional? You see, in the same chapter, Oda specifically draws almost all of the Straw Hats' expressions, and every single one of them is showing true emotion. Nobody can be stoic at the sight of Elbaf, not even Zoro. Now, it just goes to show how many years Oda has been thinking about this island, about the tale he will tell when we get there. The very first sight of a giant in the One Piece story was at Little Garden, a small arc that was airing from 1999 to the year 2000. I mean, a lot of you guys weren't even born by then. And the letter continues. But most simplify the matter by using the name Elbaf for the land of giants. Plants, trees, vines, flowers, insects, animals, everything is breathtakingly huge. Adventurers, do not regret your lost time here. Now, basically what he's saying is, go around, explore, find out more about the ancient history, Frankie. Find out more about the grand mysteries of the One Piece story is basically what he's saying. Go, Frankie, try to discover why it is that the government showed a picture of the Sunny on your bounty. And while you're at that, bring us some juicy One Piece earth-shattering murals that hint about the past, present, and the future. Go, Luffy, go! Try to find out more about your idol Shanks from an enormous giant that even dwarfs the rest of the giants on the country. Then also try to free this giant, which is something that you aren't supposed to do, but you do it anyway because you are Luffy. But with all that said, and I quote again, however, if there is one message you take away from my account of the gigantic and mystical land of Elbaf, let it be this word of warning. Do not overstay your welcome. Now, at first you kind of just brush it off to the side because it's just some random writer telling us that Elbaf is a weird island and we should not stay there for long. But if you really dig deep, you will remember that the element of time on an island that is inhabited by giants was presented to us back at Little Garden as well. The log post could only reset to the next island in 1 year's time. If it wasn't for Sanji that found the eternal pose, then Nami would have died from the disease and the rest of the crew would have never been in time to defeat Crocodile and rescue the land of Alabasta. Now, to finally present my prediction/theory, I think the element of time will will be very important to this arc. I think that time flows much faster on Elbaf than the rest of the islands of the One Piece world. The main reason to this, apart from Louis Arnote's notes, is that when Imo took over Gunko's body in chapter 1149, he is shown scolding the Holy Knights by telling them, "How the hell aren't you done with Elbaf? The Holy Land is engulfed in flames, guys. We need greater numbers. You should bring these giants over to the Holy Knight. We need them right now." Now, that raises a lot of questions in my head. Who on planet Earth would even dare to wage war against the world government in their home turf, the Holy Land of Marijwa? Aside from Luffy, of course. Now, most fans and lovers of the series are saying that Blackbeard made his move, and now he wants to take over the Holy Land and be the king of the world. But wait. This is completely and utterly wrong. Why? Well, then Blackbeard wouldn't have gone to all the trouble by taking Kobe as hostage, and later on taking Garp as hostage, and have this master plan about using the hero of the Marines as leverage to recognize Hachinosu as a part of the 20 or 21 kingdoms or countries that is affiliated by the world government. Why would he just bust up his entire plan like that? Obviously, this is not Blackbeard's entire plan, but still, this is at least 10% of his plan. But now hold on, Hakireview, what are you saying here? Who then is engulfing and setting Marijwa on fire? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it finally happened. Monkey D. Dragon is finally making his move. And no, this is not a joke. Keep in mind that I've hated on this character for months upon years upon years. But now I finally admit defeat, as this character needed yet another time skip to finally make his move. But how does this tie in with Elbaf, you say? Well, we'll probably fight Imo in the body of Gunko, end up freeing Gunko and knowing about Brook's past and everything, and then everything is gonna be happy-go-lucky until the event that starts the final war of One Piece begins. The Domi reverse of Loki. Then we're probably gonna have to fight evil Loki, which is not an easy thing to do. Maybe we don't fully defeat Loki. Maybe Loki doesn't even get Domi reverse. This is just my theory. But as things get worse in the Holy Land and the fight between Luffy the Sun God and Loki the other Sun God goes on and on and on, maybe Imo withdraws from that fight, taking Loki and some other giants with him to the Holy Land for protection. And then Luffy and the rest of the Straw Hats end their Elbaf journey on the Heaven World, where they will be meeting up with Nefertari D. Vivi. And after that, ladies and gentlemen, we would head to the final war and final arc of One Piece. Now, where is Blackbeard in all of this? Well, you're gonna have to subscribe to Hakireview to find out on a later video. Peace. That convey its grandeur. Grandeur. This has to be grandeur. If this is not grandeur, then I'm not English.
Grandeur.
Grandeur? Who's grandeur?
Grandeur.
Bro, shut the fuck up.